Hello, fellow heirs, and welcome back to Weekday Wind Down with the Word, where we are reading through the book of Genesis. And today we will be reading the second part of Genesis 31 in the NLT version. So we're actually going to pick up at verse 43, and this is where Jacob's treaty with Laban is described. So without any further ado, let's start reading. Then Laban replied to Jacob, "These women are my daughters, these children are my grandchildren, and these flocks are my flock. In fact, everything you see is mine. But what can I do now about my daughters and their children? So come, let's make a covenant, you and I, and it will be a witness to our commitment." So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a monument. Then he told his family members, "Gather some stones." So they gathered stones and piled them in a heap. Then Jacob and Laban sat down beside the pile of stones to eat a covenant meal. To commemorate the event, Laban called this place Jegar Sahadutha, which means witness pile in Aramaic. And Jacob called it Gilead, which means witness pile in Hebrew. Then Laban declared, "This pile of stone will stand as a witness to remind us of the covenant we have made today." This explains why it is called Gilead, witness pile. But it was also called Mizpah, which means watchtower. For Laban said, "May the Lord keep watch between us to make sure that we keep this covenant when we are out of each other's sight. If you mistreat my daughters or if you marry other wives, God will see it, even if no one else does. He is a witness to this covenant between us." "See this pile of stone," Laban continued, "and see this monument I have set between us? They stand between us as witnesses of our vows. I will never pass this pile of stone to harm you, and you must never pass these stones or this monument to harm me. I call on the God of our ancestors, the God of your grandfather Abraham, and the God of my grandfather Nahor, to serve as a judge between us." So Jacob took an oath before the fearsome God of his father Isaac to respect the boundary line. Then Jacob offered a sacrifice to God there on the mountain and invited everyone to a covenant feast. After they had eaten, they spent the night on the mountain. Laban got up early the next morning, and he kissed his grandchildren and his daughters and blessed them. Then he left and returned home. So it's really a blessing. I was just thinking about that. In the end, Laban and Jacob reconciled their differences. So that was really good. I know the daughters were glad to see that. Even though Rachel did wrong, stealing those idols and everything. And I'm not sure if that will be revealed in the next chapters. But it's going to be interesting to find out. I forgot. Please stay tuned to find out if that comes to light and if the Lord will punish her or if they're going to throw the idols out. I know that the Lord is not going to take kindly to that. So it's going to be very interesting to find out how that situation is going to play out. But I was just glad to see that this family came together, because it's good to be in good standing with your in-laws, because they become your family. And so there doesn't need to be any divisions or any hatred towards between the in-laws. It's just not a good situation. It's just good to accept them and respect them as your parents, as they are. As you take on a husband or a wife, you also take on their family as well. So I was so glad and pleased to see that they made that covenant, that they wouldn't fight or harm each other. So that was good to see. With that being said, I'm going to end this video right here. This was a short one, and I do thank you so much for listening and watching. Please make sure you add in the comments below your thoughts on this particular chapter, part B of it, where they make the covenant. What do you think about that? I don't think people make covenants today with the in-laws. They do a service in some weddings where it represents the coming together of the two families, which is beautiful. And I guess that's why they do this because of this covenant that Jacob and Laban made between each other. But let me know what you guys think about the covenant. I'm sure there are some things that I'm missing, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. With that being said, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys for listening once again to Weekday Wind Down with the Word, and you all have a blessed day. Bye.